Well, hi, this is Peter Combs from BidAmount.com and P.L. Combs Asian Art in Gloucester, Massachusetts. And today is Friday, July 28th, 2017. And this is our weekly video on how things sold on eBay last week that we'd picked out to put in the weekly catalog. Here's the catalog from last week. And we're going to get to the prices in just a minute. But before we do, I want to give everybody a little heads up in case you missed our blog this week and haven't been following what's been going on our Facebook accounts and so forth, is this sale. You can find it by clicking blog up here in the corner. This is an auction that's coming up tomorrow in Norwood, Massachusetts. It's an auction of fakes. It's an auction of a lot of fakes, including fake labels, fake stickers, fake everything. And the company is called Altair Auctions. And they've been in trouble before with the feds. They've been investigated for other scams. How they keep their licenses beyond me. They were investigated for selling a $1.7 million fake Chinlung vase, and they claim it wasn't them, but somebody mysteriously got a Christie's label onto it from a sale from years before that was actually on a Blanc de Chine piece that Christie's had sold. So anyway, this is who you're dealing with here. This is Altair. And what they've got this time around, those of you that have been collecting for a while recognize what some of these pieces are trying to be. Very rare Sung, and slightly later pieces of Giware and Guan Yao and all this other stuff. These are all fakes. They're all really good fakes. And what's most amazing about them is that they've got stickers all over them, like this, okay? Now, this is interesting. Hans Ostrom, Stockholm. This collection sticker has showed up before on pieces. I saw some up in an auction in Maine with identical stickers on it a couple of years ago. Then you have this one. This one has got a Marchant label on it, and it's got a thing here from some society, and the collection of Alfred Clark collection. All right, poor Alfred Clark. He was maybe one of the greatest collectors who ever lived. Here's a picture of him. He was on a par with Percival David, had some of the finest pieces that were ever sold. This piece here sold from a descendant's collection of Ruware that he had, sold for $207 million a few years ago, 207 million Hong Kong dollars rather, a couple of years ago at Sotheby's in Hong Kong. Great piece, sold, that's about 30 million bucks. All right, so that was this bowler, 25 million. The problem is that they have included with it these items, receipts made out to John Clark. Okay, there it is. From John Sparks, there's some from Marchants. These are all fake receipts. He probably wasn't buying anything in 1964. The man died in 1950. All right, apparently the auctioneer, whoever is fabricating these, doesn't know how to look things up. At any rate, and there was this piece here that has the Font Hill label on it, Font Hill Heirloom Collection. Maybe one of the greatest collections of Qingwares ever done. They didn't do a lot with Sung pieces. And it also has the label of Carl Schmidt Walgren on it. And there's a receipt accompanying the sale with this, I believe, as well. This was never in the Font Hill collection. It was never in the Birmingham Museum, and it never belonged to Carl Schmidt. Mr. Schmidt, by the way, died in 1944. But amazingly, in this auction, they have receipts and so forth made out to him. All right, here's another receipt from for Mr. Clark buying at Blewett and Sons in 1963, complete with the Queen's stamp and everything. So, any rate, it's all bull. Okay, this whole sale is bull. Do not bid on it; you will be taken. Okay, it's just an absolute sale packed with fakes. All right, said enough. All right, we're also going to do a post on two other auctions that are coming up in the latter part of August that has some real doozies of fakes in them. All right, this is a carving I put up last week that I liked. It's a buy it now. It hasn't sold yet. And it's a very big carving, very nice big rootwood carving of a Japanese fellow. They have it listed as Chinese. I think it's Japanese, but beautiful carving of a beggar. And it's 19 inches tall. This is a big statue, okay? And I think if you like Japanese carvings, I think this is very reasonably priced, $600. Somebody wants to argue with me that it's Chinese, go ahead, but the bandana on his head and his face and the beard makes me think he's Japanese. All right, anyway, it's a heck of a buy. It's a beautiful piece of art. This sold last week. This was very nice. This was the Wan Li gin bottle made for the slab constructed bottle made for the European market. Nicely done. A number of people saw it and thought maybe it was Delft. It's not Delft, but it's done in the Delft style. The feeling, or the Delft did it in the Chinese style, is more accurate. But very nice piece, very rare. Most of these are made a bit later. Most of these bottles that you come across during the transitional time. But anyway, a nice piece. It's got a little repair and damage up here in the neck, but if you're a collector and you like early examples, this was a nice example. And it went for $948. A good looking thing. I liked it. All right. And then there was this box, this very nice piece of Pactong, fully engraved all over with a script on the front. It's probably an opium box or a tobacco box, but very nice quality, beautiful quality. And I think somebody got a fabulous buy on that. If you collect metals, this was something you probably should have gone after. Fairly rare and in fine condition, and it went for $124. That seems extremely reasonable for a piece of 19th century Pactong. All right. All right. We put it in the newsletter. I thought it would take off and do well for somebody, but it didn't. At any rate, so it goes. This was the apple green bottle with the brown dress lip. Most of these get sold as, they always say, they're 19th century. This one looks to be, by the mouth and by the foot, to be probably an early, not 18th century, but early 19th century piece. Nice looking color on it. The glaze stops quite well at the bottom. A couple of irregular overruns, but nothing major. Nice thick glaze, nice crackle on it. And it went for $543, which is about right for one of these. Perfectly fair trade price on that. These are highly collected. A lot of monochrome collectors out there, and they love those apple green bottles. All right. And moving over, we have this very nice silk panel. As a lot of you know, I like Chinese silks. I think they're underappreciated, but they're getting there. They certainly are getting there. And this was a nice panel, late 19th century one, with the dragon rondelles and a pairing of dragons at the bottom facing each other against the cresting waves with shao marks on each side, with the flaming pearls, 2 flaming pearls. I like that. Usually it's 1 flaming pearl between the 2 dragons. This panel, they included 1 for each dragon, and cranes and so forth. Beautifully done. Nice dark blue ground as well, and in good condition. It went for $1,000, $1,007.55 to be exact. Came from a good seller over in Somerset in the UK. Probably got it out of house clearance. And then we came along to these. These are late 19th, maybe early 20th century copper and cloisonné pear-shaped squared bottles. But I like them because they had the elephant handles on them. And I like the winged sea serpent dragons that they put on here. In case you missed it, here it is, sort of the flying sea serpents. And at the bottom, the little sort of baby dragons opposing one another. Very nice. I liked it. And it did fine. I don't think anybody stole it, but I think they were attractive and worthy. And they went for $338.90. Not a bad price at all for those. They were good size. They were about 12 inches tall or so. All right. And now moving along to this Ming figure. Ming figures have been turning up more and more around, coming out of house closures, especially in Europe and in the UK. And because they were very popularly collected in the late 19th and early 20th century. And this was a nice one. Good, deep, dark patina. It never got polished, never got messed up. Here's a picture of the underside. That's what it should look like. All right. Good quality casting. Nice details around the eyes and the nose, the hair. Okay, and he's carrying, looks like he's carrying either a cup or probably an incense burner. And went for a good price, went for $693. But that was a nice example, a good one, good color. I was glad to see that. And there was this painting. This is a rather attractive fan painting on paper and mounted on beautiful quality bamboo. Often the bamboo they use on these isn't that good. That's nice, clear bamboo, good color. A nice honey color to it. The back of it was fully inscribed with a poem signed by the artist. And here's some more of the work here. And it's a figural landscape scene of people outside pursuing different activities, having food, sitting around, reading. These two are playing some sort of a game over a cup of tea. And it did great. It brought $710, but a nice authentic example, probably late 19th, early 20th century. But good quality. Had a small rip in it, but it wasn't bad. And then we had another one of these catagons or puzzle pots. This one is not very dissimilar from the one that we had on here a few weeks ago. I think it's a different, it's not the same one though, because as I recall, the other one didn't have a glazed, had an unglazed bottom. This one has a glazed bottom. Nicely, neatly trimmed foot. This is an 18, probably done around 1810 to 1830 example. Good looking celadon glaze with nice underglaze red, iron red on it. Here's a profile of it. And the blue and the red color on this were quite good. Often the underglaze red can get a little tricky, and the color can go funny. But this one turned out rather well. And it went for $745, which is not a bad price for that at all. Like that. And then there was this probably Yuan to Ming little jarlet. This seller had a number of jarlets up. We shared a few of them with this underglaze carved lotus blossoms. Nice colored celadon. Here's the foot on it. That's how it should look. Slightly concave. A few splotches here and there. Little iron red outlining to the unglazed patches. But nice piece. Good looking example. Nice fat lip on the rim there. And it went for $355. Perfectly fair price for those. I've seen some great collections of jarlets over the years, and I remember back in the day they all paid nothing for them. Back in the 70s and 80s, they pick up little jarlets like that for $10, $15, $20 maybe. All right, and now we have this figure. This is sold by our friend William. His username is Godrevy over in the UK. Very nice looking figure of a seated scholar on a wooden slab. These pieces were made to be perched. Okay, there's nothing wrong with this. They were made to sit like this. I'll show you the back of it. There it is. This has all been cast and carved out this way, and it would be seated on something like this. And this is a good lacquer example. Nicely figured, good articulation. Pictures are a little dark. If you're watching this, William, brighten up your pictures a little bit. He's a good guy, and but a nice example. And it did very well. It brought $2,637, all right, in the U.S., or about 2,000 pounds. William has gotten very good with metals. He's a smart guy, young guy. He's going to do well in the business. And we had this. This came from a seller we pay attention to, who's out in the Midwest in Illinois. This is a nice bronze, nice hoof-formed bronze, done sort of in the archaistic style. There's a better shot of it, with these big foulines mounted on the edge with masks and rings running around the neck. There's two on each side up here, and then there's a single on the other side opposing this one, and then just open rings on the bottom. There's the bottom of this vase, and it did very well. This was a nice example. It brought $16,100. Not long ago, a slightly earlier one, I think Christie's sold it. It was slightly earlier, maybe 100 or so years earlier, and it went for about 42,000 euros in the very recent past. So this was in line with that as far as the price goes. And there was this very nice, probably Chinlung. The seller hedged a little. He said young Chen or Chinlung. I think Chinlung probably. Famille Rose reticulated basket, like a chestnut basket or bowl, and has these nice auspicious figures, the peaches and bats and a crane with this beautiful sort of green enamel wave border with white outlining. Liked it a lot. Here's the back of it. That's what it should look like. Nice example. And I don't think at Yongchen it had a little damage up in here, and did well just the same. It brought $569 from Haupet. It's a seller in Leeds over in the UK. A nice thing. And then there were these. I threw these in because they weren't perfect. They had some repairs to them, but these are Anwa decorated wine cups with these nice little cartouches on them. And for those of you that don't know what Anwa is, it's this. It's incised carving in the white. If you look carefully, you can see these white outlines. Usually it's flowers and trees and pine trees and so forth. They use to fill in the areas between the colored enamels or the underglazed blue. And there's the front of it. You can't really see it. That's an iron oxide mark on the glaze that popped through. Here's the bottom of it. But these were nice. They were probably Kangxi, Anwa decorated. And because of the damage, it held the price down, which made them pretty affordable, $180 for the pair. All right. And wine cups with unweighed decoration and nice cobalt blue are sort of unusual if you think about it. If you've been around for a while, you don't see them very often. So somebody got a nice buy for their collection. All right, and then there was this rather nice Republican period, or early 20th century porcelain plaque with these blued like kingfishers on them and ripening fruit. Very nice quality thing. I saw this. At first I wasn't too sure about how old it was, because these are tricky to date sometimes. But I took a look at this border, the way this is done, that sky blue. Typically those are done on earlier 19th century, early 20th century things rather. And it had some rather nice looking orange peel in it, but good color, very good quality decoration. So my suspicions were that it was probably Republican period, but high quality. And apparently a lot of people thought so too, so it doesn't make me any genius. And they went for $5,500 for the plaque, which I think was a good price. I don't think it was overpaid. Very pretty and very nice quality. Quality all the time. And then we get along to this. This was another plaque that was up that we came across. This is the one with the two dragons on it in blue and white. Very nice opposing dragons fighting over the pearl. Remember a minute ago I mentioned that silk panel that was with the dragon, each with a pearl. This is more typically of what you see, is one pearl and two dragons squabbling over it. And nice carved with these sort of apple blossoms in the frame. It was all reticulated. Looks to me as though this plaque might have turned a little at one point. I think it should be a little more upward. In other words, this tail here should be more up in here. So I'm not sure about that. Maybe somebody moved the handle or didn't like it the way it was. But at any rate, it did great. It brought $1,055. And then last is this. There was this very nice 17-inch rose medallion vase, mallet vase, hammer vase. Very good quality. Nice decoration. It was in beautiful condition. And I think somebody got a terrific buy on this for a 17-inch vase. $860. So there you go. That's the week. We're working on this week's newsletter, and we'll be done later on today. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.